The biggest icon in wrestling.
Yeah.
Yes. We are live back for another podcast. Let me talk to you. My name is Frankie Fresca. I'll be your host, and my partner in crime, Mr. D Trapio. That way, Nick. What's up, brother?
What's up, brother? Another
All
day,
right.
another blessing, man.
Awesome. I don't know. You're lagging a little bit there, but I think we'll work with it. We'll see what happens. Maybe it gets better as time progresses through the chat and through the podcast. So we got a lot of things to talk about, guys. This is the second episode of our podcast. Big shout out to everybody who tuned in last week and took a view on our podcast. I do want to go ahead and announce as well that not only are we streaming on YouTube, but we're also streaming on Twitch and we're also streaming on X. So you can see us on all three platforms right now while we're doing this live. So hopefully you guys are excited to finally see me and my brother talk a little bit about wrestling and also talk a little bit about Florida sports, because that's what we love to talk about as well, right? Including a little bit of soccer. We talk a little bit about soccer as well. So, all right, but let's go ahead and let's get into it. First and foremost, I wanted to go ahead and see if we could talk a little bit about AEW to start off. And the reason I want to talk about AEW, Nick, is because we got an announcement tonight, man, and it's our boy TK making a announcement that, can it be breathtaking? Can it be an announcement that we're like, oh my God, we've never seen or we've never heard of this before? What do you think his announcement's gonna be? I'll give you what I think after you tell me what you think he's gonna announce.
Well, right now I'm still a little laggy, as you can see. Hopefully it gets a little bit better afterwards. But TK, man. TK. I feel like he's gonna have another big announcement. It's been bombs after bombs after bombs. No, I'm kidding. Now he's been doing pretty good, so we'll see what he has in store for us, bro.
Do you have any idea what he's gonna say? Any idea?
I have a feeling he's either going to announce maybe like a major match, or he's gonna probably announce some sort of partnership, and it leads off to something else. So
All right. I, on the other hand, have a feeling that what he's gonna go ahead and announce is another tournament, but this time it's going to be a female tournament. And I think what he's going to do with this female tournament is kind of announce who's in it, and then eventually have like somebody like blacked out, like a person that we've never heard of, or somebody that like a mysterious wrestler who's going to be competing in the tournament. And I think eventually what's going to happen, Nick, is we're going to have possibly the return of Ronda Rousey.
that's crazy, man.
But
That would be crazy.
now into the AEW world, there are rumors out there that Ronda Rousey is gonna make a comeback back to the wrestling world. And the crazy thing about it, man, is that she was at an indie show. She was at one of those lucha wrestling shows out there with Taya Valkyrie, got involved in the match with Taya Valkyrie and Sharif, Marina Sharif, who's also was wrestling Taya Valkyrie in that show, and she was in it. So Taya Valkyrie, if you guys know, she is AEW, and right now, as we speak, we all thought that Ronda Rousey was going to retire, but now all of a sudden it doesn't look like that. It looks like she is actually going to be making her way maybe to AEW. Do you think AEW should have signed her? Do you think this is going to help AEW? Do you think it's good for Ronda Rousey to be in AEW, in your opinion?
At this point, AEW is still a growing organization. I truly believe AEW still has, many more years ahead. So the more the merrier. I think Ronda Rousey has a great fan base. She has a lot of talent to bring into the organization, and I think it would be a good addition. And hopefully this would sway the crowd to tune in into Ronda Rousey and AEW.
I mean, I know that me and Sean have spoken about it before on the Squared Circle Digest, but I think one of the areas that maybe that Ronda Rousey might struggle a little bit is on her mic skills. I think that's something that she's been working on, but I think her coming to the AEW world obviously would be a big impact for AEW. I don't know if they would get a big fan base tuning in. Oh, welcome into the chat, Carlos. King Mahi Carlos in the building.
So Carlos.
We wanted to go ahead and say, I mean, I think she'll do really well in AEW. I just hope that it's the right decision for her and they know how to use her. Adam Copeland has been used kind of here and there. You got the shirt, you're rocking it tonight.
Rated R, baby.
And of course you got Ronda Rousey. I don't know if in some of the AEW recent shows there has been a lot of people in the audience holding up signs saying we want more women wrestling. So that is another thing that gives me the impression that that's why they're going to push Ronda Rousey to come to the AEW world and use it, because I think that's important for AEW. I think they have so much opportunity in the women's division in addition to the men's division. And just to let you know, I know some of you guys are also tuning into the AEW Dynamite. They did start the show with MJF, and they started. I actually have it here. I'm watching it on this side. I have a little screen right here, cheating. But they did start with MJF, and they did show Adam Cole. So he hasn't been around for a minute. So it's really cool.
Okay,
started with Adam
that's
Cole.
good.
But he was on a TV screen, so it looks like maybe he's trying to recover from his injury that he has. But then they showed the devil. They showed that mystery devil guy showing up again, which we all kind of the impression that we all got is that it's not supposed to be MJF. Could it be Adam Copeland? I mean, could it be Adam Cole? Could it be, I don't know, anybody out there? At this point in time, our guess is just as crazy as yours. What up? No doubt. Hell yeah. What in the world is squared circle? Squared circle, yes. Sir, so we're here. We're doing our podcast. Thank you so much for coming in. We will be talking some wrestling. Not too much, a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of sports. So that's why we were just talking a little bit about AEW and the possibilities of Ronda Rousey coming over. Like my brother said, she's talented. She needs to improve her mic skills. If she does decide to come to the AEW world, hey man, we're all welcome, and we all think it'll be a great opportunity for her. Hopefully, she could exceed. I don't know if her woman power, like the amount of momentum, I don't think it's gonna be the same as when she first made her debut in WWE. But that doesn't mean we can't tune into AEW and check out Ronda Rousey, right? I would still tune in. I like Ronda Rousey at the end of the day.
Definitely, man. I think I truly believe Ronda is gonna have some sort. This is just me. I think she's gonna have like her own little squad, and she's really gonna power through AEW with them with like a triple team type of concept.
I mean, there's a lot of opportunity if she makes her way over there. Not only are you going to go ahead and see her against Saraya, you could see her against Britt Baker. You could see her against who else is another one out there? Willow Nightingale, Tony Storm. I mean, there's so many opportunities out there for Ronda Rousey, and I think overall, AEW can make some good matches. I personally feel that maybe, just maybe, it would be a good thing for AEW because they did lose Jade Cargill. So at least bringing Ronda Rousey will kind of make it a little bit, kind of make up for them losing Jade Cargill, because obviously they lost her.
Well, she was big, man. She was.
I mean, she's no Ronda Rousey, obviously. Like, I love Ronda Rousey. Ronda Rousey, technically, a lot of people know Ronda Rousey. But Jade Cargill is the hot thing in wrestling. So, I mean, as far as like fan base, like they're both up there, like
that's true. I mean, yeah,
everybody knows who Ronda Rousey is, but Jade Cargill is popping, and they probably want, they people are going to tune into Jade Cargill once she starts wrestling. But that's pretty much what we want to talk about AEW. We're going to jump a little bit to the WWE world just to kind of recap a couple of things. I know yesterday, when I spoke to Sean on the Squared Circle Digest. We went over a couple of WWE things that happened, but me and my brother are gonna be doing a little bit different, and what we're gonna do a little bit different is we're gonna talk a little bit about NXT. We are now tuning in more into NXT, especially my brother. He's gotten me into it a lot, so I think one of the things we're gonna do is kind of talk NXT, man. Like I think NXT is something that can actually, come about. Like I think we're actually seeing something good when it comes to the NXT world. And last night, sir, we had some great matches. We had Dom out there. We had the main event Carmelo against Dragunov. We had our girl Lola Vice from Miami representing the
Yep.
305 out
Yes,
there.
sir.
All right, so let's not jump all over the place. So let's talk first about Lola Vice. What you think about Lola Vice and her winning the women's breakout tournament?
Hats off to Lola Vice again. She remarkable talent, a lot of potential in her. I mean, this whole scorecard was just crazy. I mean, that's why it was called Halloween Havoc, it was crazy. So I think, having her to win the breakout tournament kind of puts her into that next, chapter and what she can be, you know, pretty big in the spotlight and stuff like that. And her mic skills are not bad. She has her. I'm not quite familiar with her partner's name, but they're both pretty cool. They go hand in hand. So I think she has a lot of talent, a lot of potential, and she gives me that that MMA background, obviously.
Oh, Ronda
Style.
Rousey style.
Yeah, definitely. And I think eventually she'll find her own identity when it comes to style of wrestling. But for now, she's kind of building her blocks and stuff like that. So she's well deserved, in my eyes.
Well, I obviously NXT signed her up, and they signed her for big things. She defeated Kalani Jordan, and
She
pardon.
wasn't bad either. Kalani Jordan wasn't bad.
No, actually, she was actually deemed like the favorite to win the tournament. So I'm surprised that they gave it to Lola to win it. But I mean, I like Lola Vice. I think one of the things that she brings to the table is the fact that she also is speaking a lot of Spanish, and
That's
showing
true.
a lot
That's
of,
true.
like, look, we're Hispanic, both me and my brother are Colombian, so I like that. I like the fact that she's embracing that she's from Miami 305. We all know that in Miami you have to learn English and Spanish. So I like the fact that she's
Definitely, man.
utilizing that, and I think she's getting that as well from, like, you're seeing a trend, because you see Dominic Mysterio also speaking Spanish. You see Damian Priest speaking Spanish. You saw Shinsuke speaking his language as well. So I'm liking that WWE is doing that they're actually kind of allowing these wrestlers to feel comfortable. If they don't feel comfortable speaking in English, they're gonna let them talk in Spanish. They're gonna let them talk in whatever language they want. And then on top of that, whenever we don't understand what they're saying, like, they'll go ahead. Like, I know for Shinsuke, they put always subtitles on the bottom to understand what he's
Mhm.
saying. So I think it's catchy. I think it works, and I'm happy for Lola Vice. The other thing that we wanted to go ahead and mention was obviously Dom. You guys know that I'm
Dirty dumb.
a big Dom fan. He was able to win.
I love his entrance, by the way. He came in handcuffed,
Yeah,
smoke all over.
yeah. He was
That
able.
type of
He
he like if he came out of the cell, it was insane, bro. It was funny.
he beat some guy named Frazier. I mean, again, I'm just getting new into the NXT world. I don't know this guy that well. Like, it looked competitive. I saw that there was a scene there where this girl Ronda Rousey, Rita Ripley threw the belt to Dom on the ring, and then it slid and it fell, and then he missed it, and then she was yelling. She's like, what are you doing, Dom?" So dude, these little mishaps, I'm telling you, man, something WWE is trying to do something with the Judgment Day, which sucks, because I know that I have the feeling that they're trying to break them all up some way, somehow.
They
Because
will, bro.
these
They're too
little
big right
mishaps,
now.
but these little mishaps, dude, like, when do you see Dom, like, Rhea Ripley throw the belt at him and then he misses it? Like, that doesn't usually happen. Like, that type of stuff. Usually Dom is really good at, like, cheating his way to a victory, but I don't know. It was fun. And then obviously we ended up the night with the main event, Dragunov versus Carmelo. What you think
Great
about
fight,
that
great
fight?
match, man. Great match, bro.
You you said he
Hats
was
off
really
to
good.
both wrestlers. Hats off to both wrestlers.
Anything that stood out on that match that you really liked?
Um, the flow of the match, it never missed a beat. It was always back and forth. You had crazy reverses. You know, they would go ahead and just parry each other, and it was really good. And some of the moves that they would do with each other, it was just wow. Like there was one on the side of the ring, and he went ahead and just slammed him to the side of the ring, and he slammed him Dragunov threw himself on top of the table on Carmelo. So it was very entertaining. And then you can't put cherry on top without having to put whoop that trick.
Oh
Whoop
yeah,
that trick.
our
Oh, come
boy,
on, man. That was
our
wild.
boy Trick Williams actually came back and caused Carmelo the fight, which I thought was good, man. Dude, I'm telling you, I am liking Trick Williams. I like the fact that they're using whoop that trick, and that's from the back in the day that movie. What was that movie called? Damn, I forgot the name.
I think it
It,
was Hustle and Flow, something like
Hustle,
that.
yes, of course, Hustle and Flow. How could I forget about that?
With what's his name?
Man, I forgot his
Not
name.
Tyrese. Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard, yes, sir. So
Great movie.
that was really cool that that they used that, and he's been using that with his
Catchy,
character.
man.
And I'm
Catchy.
telling you, people are feeling Trick, and I think Trick is going to eventually become a champion in NXT. So I'm excited about that. I think NXT did a really good job for their Halloween Havoc, and it leaves a lot things to come in the whole NXT show, especially Lola Vice winning that tournament. Obviously, she now has an opportunity to cash on a championship fight, and hopefully, if she figures it out when she's going to challenge it. Hopefully, in the future, we'll see Trick versus Dragunov, and then we could go from there. So, I really want to go ahead and say that if you guys don't or haven't been tuning into NXT, check it out, man. NXT is actually working really well, and you're getting a good fan base. And I honestly feel that it's something that a lot of us should be tuning in. I started tuning in along with my brother. And then the other thing that my brother kind of mentioned was the fact that he found out that YouTube, right? They're rebroadcasting the fights
Yep.
on YouTube.
Yeah, and it's nothing like, oh, you gotta wait like 48, 72 hours. Is like almost immediately after the show. For the people who love wrestling, but they have different type of working shifts. So catering to that crowd, hats off to WWE and really knowing how to go in ahead and you know helping everyone out and watching some wrestling.
All right, cool, man. All right, well, the other thing I wanted to go ahead and jump a little bit out of the WWE world is one thing that we also do talk on this podcast is South Florida sports. And one of the biggest things that we love is what you're wearing on top of your head and what I'm wearing on top of my head. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Miami Dolphins and the Miami Heat, and that's what we wanted to go and jump into that segment. So let's start first and foremost with the Miami Heat. And one of the things that we wanted to go ahead and talk about I'm sorry, not the Miami Heat. Let's talk about the Miami Dolphins. My apologies. The Miami Dolphins this past weekend having a big win over the New England Patriots. Sir, what did you think about that game?
Um, that game was fantastic. I think the game was under control by the defense. I think Tua did spectacular. He had his mistake or whatever, but uh, every quarterback is not gonna be perfect either. So I think the Dolphins overall was a great game, and now we go to Frankfurt and face the number one seed and Kansas City Chiefs.
All right. Yeah, that's true, man. And I think the thing that we should focus on when it comes to the Miami Heat is what players are going to be available and what players are not. But before we do and jump that, guys, that me and my brother are season ticket holders, so we do actually go to a lot of these games live. Unfortunately, my brother wasn't able to make it this weekend, but I was able to make it, and I wanted to share you guys some interaction of what you get when you go out there to the Hard Rock, because that's one of the experiences. I don't know if a lot of you guys are able to go ahead and check a live game out there, but I definitely recommend a lot of you guys to go out there and check it out. I'm gonna show you some of the previews of what I got here. Let me see if I could upload these. So let me jump here, and then let me see if I could get this to work. So this is something that I wanted to share with you guys because it's what we this is the reason why me and my brother go to these games. We really enjoy these games all the time. Let me see. Can you see that, Nick?
Yeah, I can see that.
All right, so
Oh,
this was a
Deshaun. Oh, he got called out of the tunnel. Deshaun Elliott. Interesting. Okay.
yeah. So let's play it because these are actually my videos, so we're not gonna get banned for this. Like
No copyright, baby. Let's go.
last time we got banned for this because we got copyrighted, but let's see. This was me. This is our so me and my brother. So just to give you a quick rundown, me and my brothers have been season ticket holders for like about 10 years now, and we sit around the 106 section. So if you guys are ever at a Miami Dolphins game, you want to say what's up to us, you could always hit us up, and if you're around that area, always just let us know. And our social medias are on the screens. That way you guys can see it. So this was the introduction. This is something from our angle. We sit kind of like on the side where like the borderline of the Miami Dolphins and the borderline of the opponents, the New England Patriots. And I think the reason me and my brother did this is because not only do we like to get a taste of the Miami Dolphin fans, but we also like to see the opponents coming out of the other tunnel and being able to go ahead and criticize them. And I have an extra video of that. That way you could see. So I'm going to play this video. It's only 18 seconds long, but this is more or less an idea of the Miami Dolphins intro this weekend against the New England Patriots.
Gotta love the theme, bro. The theme, the diamond end zones, the orange. It was sucks that I didn't go, but awesome.
Yeah, so that was David Long who was being shown, and also this guy
Deshaun Elliott.
Sean Elliott. Let me go ahead and play the next one because the next one is the one I really wanted to show you guys, which is what everybody was waiting for. And this is the scene where all of us were like, "Oh my god, the moment of truth! He's making his debut." And this was when we finally were able to see the first time this particular the first time ever as a Dolphins uniform, our boy Jalen Ramsey. Obviously, disregard the person with the hat. That the lady was sitting right next to me, so she was standing at the same time, so I had to get her in the hat. But check it out. This was the video of Jalen Ramsey getting introduced for the first time as a Miami Dolphin player.
Zach Sealer. Our boy Christian Wilkins. Ref!
All right.
There he is. FSU, baby. Look at that crowd, man. Yo, he was pumped, man. He was pumped.
Look at him in the video. If you see him up here in the video, man, like he was going. I hope it's not lagging as much. My bad if it is. But he was getting up there and he was like excited. He was like, "Yo, I want to be here. Like I'm ready to play." And I think that was cool from him, man. Like he really like showed out for us. Like I was thrilled to see that guy. And then the other thing I wanted to show you guys a couple more videos that I had from the scene. Now, and if you guys like this, just let us know because what we might just go ahead and do is record more videos from where we're at of our opponents and obviously the Dolphins when we are able to. I don't know. Oh my bad, no doubt. I don't know if it didn't have no audio. If it didn't have audio, it's okay. As long as you can still see it, which is the most important thing. This is the other one that we're gonna let me show you guys. This was another thing that actually showed up. This play right here, right, was the play that Miami was supposed to they I think they had either done like a I don't remember if they had picked it off or if maybe they had gone ahead and sacked them. I don't remember, but this was a good one as well. And I was able to catch it because it was on our side where we sit. If you look and you see me and my brother sit like on the 5th row. So we get a lot of anything that's happening on this side, we're always excited about. So check it out. Check it out. This was So you think we had those guys cheering and everything. Although the play did get called off eventually, so that kind of sucked. And then obviously the other video I was able to get, which is the one that a lot of people are probably we're gonna talk about a little bit in a minute as far as injuries is concerned. But this was the play that I was able to get this, which is crazy. This was the play where Brandon Jones got hit. I believe it was Juju, right? I think Juju was the one that hit him straight up, bro. And it was
Yeah, Mac Jones, aka Mac Daddy, he went ahead and he threw it to Juju, but it was too inaccurate, and Brandon was gonna pick it off, but Juju went ahead and just disrupted the play. But aside from disrupting the play, the guy knocked up this guy, bro. It was bad. I was like, wow, dude. I'm
all right.
surprised he didn't get ejected, but it was, it was
So so
garbage
this
time.
so this one that I have was right after. So I'm gonna pull up the other one, but since I have this one up, so after he got hit, this is how it got heated. Like the Dolphins
Yeah,
wanted
man,
to scrap.
you can't mess with the Dolphin brothers. Come on, man.
Yeah, dude, the Dolphins were like getting like upset. They were like, yo, that was a cheap shot. Let me see if I can find the other one, the one of the hit. Yeah, here it is. So this is the one. Let me share this with you guys. This is kind of like I'm gonna show you two more, which is this one and then the one of the of behind the scenes, because I know they didn't show this on they didn't show this on TV. So this play, which was pretty cool, man. Like this is like one of our views, and hands down for that guy with the little Christmas what you
The
call that?
beanie, the
The
beanie.
little beanie thing. That was pretty cool. He had that on. All right, so check
That's
this out. So
legit.
this is the play where Brandon Jones got clobbered by Juju. You got Mac Daddy right there. Look at Mac.
Damn, nice. Oh, you got the whole thing. Oh, snap.
Yeah, you saw. So when he went and he hit him, dude, like he got
But
him hard.
you see what happened there.
See,
It didn't reach him. He actually overthrew that ball, and then you see Brandon going up for it, but he went. Juju went ahead and disrupted the play, but man, that sucks. And Brandon Jones landed pretty hard, bro.
dude, if you look at it, bro, he just clocked him. A lot of people were saying that it was a clean hit, bro, and I don't think that's a clean hit, dude. Like that's honestly like a cheap shot in my opinion. It's a
I
defensive
mean,
player.
I mean, look, man, I'm a Dolphins fan, so I'm gonna say hell yeah, eject that guy, suspend that guy, fine him, fine $2 million. I don't care. But nah, but all seriousness though, I mean, if you, I think it was the second quarter or the first quarter. I think Brandon Jones had done the same thing too. He went and he's hit the shit out of someone, and it wasn't called. Or I think it was Deshaun Elliott actually who went ahead and hit someone
Oh,
pretty.
there was one where no, but the Deshaun Elliott. So look, check this out. The
That
Deshaun
was the one
Elliott.
that beat Belichick. He was like, "What the fuck? Like, what's going on?"
Yeah. Well, no, I think the one that Bill Belichick was upset was the one. Remember that play where they had two guys in motion and they were like, he was like, "Why the hell are you guys not throwing a flag? Because both guys are in motion. Like, what the hell is this?" So
Oh,
that I remember that. I don't know if he was upset at the Deshaun Elliott. So this is kind of behind the scenes, guys, of what happened afterwards that I was able to get. So these two guys, as you see them right there next to the security guy, dude, they were heated, bro. And I know it's not that much, but check this out. They were talking a lot of smack and they were still getting upset because they had to separate them. So check this out. No, and there's Bill Belichick right there. Bill Belichick,
oh, Belichick.
Bill
I love it.
Belichick right there. So
Oh
yeah, they were.
man, I those were the headbands. Man, that's fire. As just to
Oh,
inform you guys,
good eye, good eye.
sometimes the Dolphins, or mostly all the times, especially now that there's a lot of sold out games, but the Dolphins like to cater to their fans, and they like to give out goodies for the first couple of thousand people. And I had advised my brother early in that morning that if you look onto the bottom left corner of the screen, that young girl has a headband that they were giving out, and it was actually the first 30,000 people. So sucks that you couldn't make it on time.
I
But
know, no, you dude. I'm not lying, bro. I'm not lying, guys. I actually spoke to Sean too, and I told Sean, I was like, Sean, I'm gonna try to get you one as well, dude. It was just hard. Like them things went like cupcakes, bro. They were
I
gone.
bet
They
I
were
bet
hard.
people weren't asking for one. They were dishing out three,
Oh,
four for one person.
they
So
were
it
they,
makes sense.
they were taking them things like they were cupcakes, bro. They were like, nah, man, we're not gonna go ahead and let you take them. So I got there around. I got to the game like around 11:35, and by the time we walked in, because so guys, FYI, me and my brother, we used to park at the stadium. We still could get tickets to park. I might buy some parking passes that way we could for certain games, like for like the Tennessee game, the Monday night football game. But for the most part, the last couple games we've been going on Uber. So we basically park at my parents' house and then we take an Uber ride all the way to the stadium. And one of the things that is pretty cool about the Uber is that they let you off right there, and then you don't have to worry about stuff. You could drink, you could do whatever the hell you want. People are sometimes are like going tailgating and all that stuff. The traffic is really bad. Getting the Uber back is kind of sucks because there's a Walmart there, and that's where you gotta basically get the Uber. But what we typically do is we walk from the stadium across the street to the Walmart, and then we cross the street again, and then we'll get the Uber on that plaza. There's a big plaza there, and that's kind of where we get it. But overall, the Uber cost is not that expensive. At least from where our parents are. Our parents live in Hialeah, so which is like about a 30-minute drive. So I would
Not even, man. Like a 20-minute drive, to be
probably a
honest with
20
you.
minute. I mean, 30-minute with traffic, maybe 20-minute without any traffic.
Yeah,
And then the only thing is that for us, it's kind of it ranges. It could be like like $20 maybe sometimes the Uber ride from
yeah.
like
The max has been like $20.
so. But overall, man, like Jalen Ramsey, like what he did out there, bro, he brings a completely different vibe, man. Like this Dolphins team defense, man, it only looks way good compared to what they looked at the beginning. And I know, like we've been talking about it before the podcast that I was never happy with the Dolphins defense last year. And I always thought it was because of the coach. Who was the coach? What was his name? I forgot his name. Damn it.
Josh Boy.
Oh, Josh Boyer. So I was never a fan of Josh Boyer. And the reason I didn't like Josh Boyer was because man, he would just dude, he would give so much cushion and he would just let the players just run and keep. What's up? What's up, Chad? Thank you, Chad. Appreciate it. Josh Boyer, definitely. Um, uh, the thing about Josh Boyer was that he would not allow the Dolphins when they play man to man. Like, dude, you would allow man to man to come, but he wouldn't make any changes on the defense, and that frustrated me, man. Like I wanted the Dolphins to be more aggressive. I wanted the Dolphins to push in and go hard, but they never did, bro. And what would happen was the same thing with Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio would go and they would allow Vic Fangio. Vic Fangio would give the zone coverage and give him enough space. But the difference here is Vic Fangio is brought the right players. You're bringing in a completely different group of guys, and you're teaching these guys how to play zone correctly. When it comes to last year, the Dolphins just, man, I don't know, man. They relied so heavily on that damn Brian Flores type of defense where it's like, let's blitz, let's blitz, let's blitz.
It was effective. It was effective. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Chad, I know that that Fangio did not change anything on the Bills, but you gotta understand one thing. Number one, Cater Kohu was getting burned, and on that particular situation with Cater and Vic Fangio not doing anything and just letting Cater Kohu high and dry. Who else were you gonna put on that guy, man? Like who else are you gonna like? I know Xavier Howard was there, but if Xavier Howard was playing injured, that's why he had that growing issue, and we probably didn't know about it, or they kept it on a DL, or maybe Xavier Howard didn't say anything to him. I wouldn't be surprised. That's why Fangio was like, "Screw it, man. Let's leave this guy Cater Kohu on him and see how he does." Even though he was getting burned, but I can't blame him. Like you got to see what that guy is capable of. We already know that Cater can't hang with like the big receivers. That's what I got from that. And last year was the same thing. He just can't hang with the big guys. But that doesn't mean he can't hang eventually over time with the slot receivers, which I think that's what he kind of flourishes a lot. What do you think about that? Do you feel the same way? Do you think Cater Kohu, number one, excels in the slot? And number two, do you think And just because Chad is saying it here, do you think is that Fangio failed on the Dolphins with the Bills, where he actually just left Cater to high and dry and he got burned?
Um, I think, I don't want to sound like a broken record player, but I mean it's a new defense, man, and I gotta give Cater some slack. He went ahead and he had his moments as a rookie and he played really well, but with this whole different scheme now, and let's just not also point the finger at Cater. I mean, Javon Holland, he hasn't made any impactful plays either. So you need to have everyone beat it collectively and actually, have everyone play a complete defense. However, the Bills, man, Bills are a great team. You can't. I mean, we've only won once in like 8 occasions, so it's kind of tough for us to really, kind of have like this. I don't want to say panic button, but kind of be like, oh, we're concerned. And I mean, it's been ever since that game, Frank or Fresco. Uh, it's been improving game by game. I mean, obviously the Phillies game was a little bit kind of like, but we were still winning until the end. And the offense, on the other hand, in that Eagles game, really wasn't kicking in with the run or anything like that. So they kind of started going with the throwing and stuff like that. So it was. I think Cater's great in the slot right now. Keep him in the slot. However, push comes to shove, if we have nobody else, I'm gonna put Cater too on the cornerback. I rather put Cater than Nick Needham, in my opinion. That's just me though.
I mean, what No Doubt was saying, and I put it up there, was saying Cater needed safety help, and I couldn't tell if he actually had got any. I don't think he did, man. I don't remember. But you're right. I think who was it? I think it was actually No Doubt who actually said it, that Cater wasn't on him. Cater had his side and X had it exactly. And again, I think Fangio's style is, yo, I'm gonna leave them where they at, and whoever they gotta go against, they go up against. Screw it. Now, does that mean Fangio failed? Should he have done it and just said, "Hey, look, screw this. Wherever Stephon Diggs is going to be lining up, put him on that side to follow him." But then doesn't that defeat the purpose of zone? Like, zone is supposed to be you're playing an area, so that's what you should be concerned about: the zone, that area. Not so much obviously the receiver as well, but you're covering the zone area. So it should be balanced. Like, it shouldn't matter whether Cater's there or Xavier Howard's there or Jalen Ramsey's there, because they're just covering that area. Granted, Jalen Ramsey knows how to play zone a lot better than Cater, and Cater's still learning. I get that. But dude, seriously, how many games has Cater been playing already? How many games has Xavier Howard been playing this zone stuff? I mean, they're football players. They've been doing practices. They've been playing preseason. You got to take all that into account. And when you take all that stuff to account, that's why I can't knock Cater. I can't knock Fangio on it. I thought overall, zone is what you play. You're either going to win or lose with whoever's on that side. I think that's the reason why they brought Jalen Ramsey, because they're like, okay, you know what? We don't have to worry about moving one guy or the other unless we're playing man-to-man. If we're playing man-to-man, which is Fangio's type of style, then perfect. We'll put man-to-man and that's it. But they don't play like that, man. They play zone. So if you're going to play zone, it doesn't matter who's lined up in what area. We're going to go ahead and just play, and whoever goes up against whoever, just try to figure it out and try to beat that person.
Like I said, man, I mean, Diggs was Diggs. I mean, we went to the playoff game, bro. You don't you remember when Diggs burned X? I know he had a double groin injury, but still, like the chat is saying, safety help wasn't there, and when you get beat over the top, man, it there it's tough to kind of point the finger at just one person. So I agree with you. I think Cater still needs a lot of room for improvement, but he has a lot of potential, and I just feel like the deeper we're getting into the season, the more sharp this defense is looking. The front four, front three are actually playing really well with Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips, Christian Wilkins, money year, by the way. You got Zach Sealer, which right now he's okay. Zach Sealer's like cooking a little bit. And then you got your linebackers, man. So I think by the time we look at week 18 versus the Bills, I believe it's gonna be a different story. And it's gonna be interesting.
Now check this out. I think it was who was it? Here we go. We got Chad is saying Cater was man to man. That was no zone coverage in that game. If it was zone, he would have had safety help. I'll tell you what, Chad. If you look at the Fangio breakdown, there's certain scenarios where they are playing zone, and there's certain scenarios where they're like only like half of them are playing zone, and the other half are actually playing man to man. So I can understand your argument. I just overall feel like Stephon Diggs, when they
He's
play, it's gonna be hard to beat them. So there was a lot of there's a lot of factors that could have played. Like I told you, we don't know how, if maybe Xavier Howard was injured in that game before, because look, he's been out for 2 games, and now hopefully he's coming back. And we're gonna bring up an injury report that we have here. Um, there's a lot of factors, man. I can't knock Fangio. The only way I'll knock Fangio, and I think I told you guys this on the Big O show when I usually chat, is I usually look at a good half of the middle of the season. If in the middle of the season the Miami defense is doing just as bad, then that's when I'm gonna be like, okay, you know what, this defense sucks. I'm gonna blame Fangio. Josh Boyer, I'm not gonna blame Josh Boyer. But from what we just finished seeing with Jalen Ramsey and how the defense has played, I mean, Eli Apple, I know these guys were not there last year. Jalen Ramsey wasn't there. Eli Apple wasn't there. But still, man, like the fact that we brought these guys, and I know Eli Apple's not the greatest. I know that. But I could honestly
Hey,
say,
hey,
like,
but he feeling really well, bro. I mean, I get it. Some people question his urgency sometimes in certain plays, but man, he fill in a big gap, and I think it was pretty solid what he did. I mean, we forget that guy has played in big time, games with Cincinnati before, so it's just
yeah.
crazy how people immediately just kind of like panic and stuff like that. So I'm like, nah, man.
So one
So
of the
that,
things,
nah,
one of the things we wanted to go ahead and share with us, and shout out to 305 Represent. Me and my brother follow
shout out 305.
a lot of these IG updates, and also on X. We do both. So on this one, I thought it was pretty cool that he kind of broke it down for us for this weekend. And obviously, the word is Xavier Howard said he's ready to play after missing 2 weeks with a groin injury. So uh, Coach McDaniel added, "You can say he's going to be a factor, an X factor, if you will." So that's awesome, man. To have Xavier Howard on one side and Jalen Ramsey, this is what the defense was built for. This is what we want to see. This is what supposedly should make this defense be able to compete with these elite teams. I know that narrative sucks. Again, I'm not a big fan about, hey, the Dolphins haven't beaten any like strong teams, but still, I don't care about that. I care about how my defense is performing with the shitty teams or with the great teams. And overall, we've noticed that with the bad teams, they have also struggled a little bit. So I honestly feel having Xavier Howard against the Kansas City Chiefs over the weekend in Germany, this is going to be huge, man. Freaking huge. We also got Javon Holland. He's been cleared from concussion protocol. So now he's practicing as well. And he's already confirmed that he's going to play on Sunday. Teron Armstead, on the other hand, it says return to practice today, but he hasn't been ruled out against the Chiefs. But it looks to be doubtful. So it doesn't look like we're going to get Teron Armstead, which is a little bit concerning. But, I don't know, man. I think we got to trust the Dolphins offensive coaches, the offensive line coach. He's done a really good job with those guys. And I think overall, if we feel that obviously Teron Armstead makes a difference, but man, can we knock him? I mean, he's done the offensive line coach has done a great job with the Miami offensive line. I mean, we only allowed 2 sacks against New England, and we had 3 guys on the left side that were all new. Like there are backups to backups, bro. That's how it was. So can you knock him?
Nah, man, you gotta give kudos to the offensive lineman coach Butch Berry. He has done wonders. The guy has, I mean, the way he kind of came into the team, another team was praising that thank God he left, and then our fans were like, "What is going on?" And then out of nowhere, this guy is now making Austin Jackson, the starting right tackle for the Miami Dolphins, looking like a Pro Bowl player.
Yep.
You got Robert Hunt. He's doing decent good on the right guard. Obviously, you got Liam Eichenberg, the Eichenberg Express at center. So, and then like you said, Teron Armstead, he hasn't been on every game. And obviously, we've learned that he's not a type of guy who plays a full season. He only plays, about 9-10 games max.
Unfortunately,
So,
yeah.
unfortunately, I know, but you know what? I'd rather have those 9-10 games in December and January, and I don't want to mention the next month, but I feel like that's the kind of the road, Mike McDaniel sees. He already knows what, Teron Armstead brings to the table. And like I said before in the previous episode, this is kind of like a blessing in disguise. We have our backups playing against starters, playing against Pro Bowlers, playing against these, even though these teams are weak right now and they have not really good records, however, they've pulled up pretty decent games recently. I mean, look, Denver beat the Chiefs. Who else? Giants almost had one in Buffalo. You had the Jets. I think they had struggled against the Giants too. So it's like, these teams are also the Panthers. They just beat the Houston Texans with C.J. Stroud. So it's like these teams, even though they're looking as weak, they're still playing against other teams, and they're actually showing that they actually can keep up. So having the Dolphins dominating those weak teams, and I know right now the two teams that they fought against was Bills and Eagles, but I think this is like a statement game. I think this is a game that the Dolphins kind of have leverage. Health is kind of being on our side now. I think we're gonna really truly now kind of feel a little bit more confident in going into this game, and then obviously than previous games.
Well, I will say this, and I'll pop this up because I do agree with No Doubt. He's saying that he's not buying Eichenberg, and his arguments is because obviously his mistakes cost Armstead and Wins injuries. And you're right, he did. I will tell you this though, man. Like obviously, Connor Williams, he's way better than Liam Eichenberg.
But, 100%, man.
And just to read off of what they said about Connor Williams today, they said he was limited participant at practice with a groin injury. He was active last week, but didn't play for precautionary measures. His status has not yet been confirmed. I think he's going to play. And I think that's the best case that we need to have him as a center against a Kansas City team. Now, am I upset with Liam Eichenberg and his ability to block and ability to play center? No. Yes, I understand. He did injure those two guys, but he's still learning, man. And to be honest with you, he sucked. He was trash as a left guard. So, like, I mean, at least the guy looks better as a backup center. I don't think he's a starter, but I think as a backup center, it will work. And he could only get better. I don't think he's going to go ahead and injure Teron Armstead. I mean, knock on wood. But I don't think he's going to injure him again or injure Wynn or anything like that. Hopefully he's learning little by little to avoid, getting pushed around. But overall, he's done a decent, serviceable job, man. So I can't knock it. And if the Dolphins didn't make any type of offensive trades, they didn't get any offensive linemen, man. And I was listening to other podcasts, and they were upset that the Dolphins didn't. But yeah, dude, how are the Dolphins? This is what upsets me with some of us Dolphin fans. You want to go ahead and complain about the salary cap and about all this crap about, hey, we don't have money for, to spend for next year and all this stuff. But then you're complaining, saying that the Dolphins didn't make a move on the trade deadline. Dude, seriously, you can't have everything, bro. It doesn't work that way. You have to balance it out, and you got to see what you got on top in your squad. That's why you have that 54-man roster. There's a reason why. That's the reason why you have these guys. They need to show up or shut up, And I think Liam Eichenberg has actually shown up as the backup center for now. I hope he improves. I hope he gets better. I hope he doesn't injure anybody else. I still think he's done a serviceable job than what he did as a left guard. As a left guard, he was a complete disaster.
If I had to give Eichenberg a grade, I'll give him right now a C.
I don't know what I could give him.
I was gonna give him a C minus, but I think right now, for now, he's a C. But back to the trade deadline that actually ended yesterday at 4 p.m. Look what Cleveland traded, or was it Cleveland? Oh no, his last name, Ezra Cleveland. He, great prospect, great offensive line, and he got traded for a 6th-round pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars. You're telling me that the Dolphins don't have this mindset right now of saying F these picks, let's just get quality players like Ezra Cleveland?
Yeah, but we don't. Do you think we need him? Do you think you need to add more to the offensive line?
Definitely, yeah, of course. Of course, Frank. Yes. You know me, man. I see a player getting released, Dolphins pick him up, bro. We need this is the year, Frank. This is the year where we need to just say, hey, we're in, go big or go home, man. And I think guard, it's just still a question mark. And now with Isaiah Wynn being up there, I don't want to say anything, but it seems like it's going to be a longer due date for him to come back. So who's going to fill in that space? We have Robert Jones. I think he was the one who played left guard. So I believe Lester Cotton had played left guard in the Philadelphia game, but then he played right guard because he filled in for Robert Hunt's injury last game. So I think we should just need more depth.
But don't you think we need to, trust our coaches though? Like trust them, man. Dude, Lester Cotton been playing. He's there. You've had these guys come in out of the blue and come and helped, and they've done a serviceable job, man. Do you really gotta go that far and be like, yo, let me go pick up this other guy to help out the O line? Do you think it was needed? Like, I know it's a 6th-round pick, but dude, everybody's been bitching and complaining and saying, yo, we're gonna have to re-sign and pay a shitload of money. The only way we're gonna be able to re-sign and pay we're not gonna be able to re-sign and pay all this money to all these people. So we're gonna lose some of them. So how do you recover? Is by drafts. You need to draft players to recover the guys you're losing. So if you keep giving away draft picks, where's our future gonna be? Because we're gonna be giving, and I know it's a 6th-round pick, granted. The Dolphins are usually not the greatest when it comes to picking late in the rounds, but still, you could still get a quality player that probably can be serviceable for the Dolphins in the long run.
Who was our 6th-round pick this draft that just passed?
Oh, I have no idea. I would have to look that up. I have no
Elijah Higgins. And where's he, bro?
I don't know where he's at right now.
You get me? And then if you look to if you go back the previous year, I believe our 6th-round pick was, oh man, if I have to think about it, I think I don't remember who.
Yeah, but Nick, I could use the same argument with you. Look at Skyler, and Skyler was what? He was like a 7th for like the last pick for the Dolphins, and look what he has planned out. He's not a bad backup for us. I mean, for the love of God, he played the playoff game last year for us. So it's not all like crap like what you get at the end. Some you're gonna hit and some you're not gonna hit. That's just the reality of the truth. There's no guarantee what you're gonna get. But dude, like there's a potential on a lot of these guys, and you never know. You could probably use the 6th-round pick next year during the draft to move up in the draft and probably be like, okay, I'm gonna give up a 5th and a 6th and move up to a 2nd or move up to a 3rd or whatever, or move up to a 4th and get somebody like that. So there's a lot of things you could be creative when it comes to these draft picks. That's why I don't think they should have. I don't think they did nothing bad. I'm not criticizing them for not trading and getting somebody. I'm trusting the coaching. The coaching is they haven't let us down. They're pushing. They're doing really well, and I think overall the Dolphins' offensive line compared to prior years.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, dude, last year, keep this in mind, guys, and I'm talking to Nick and to the chat. Keep this in mind, guys. Last year and the year before, we had a horrendous offensive line. And did the Dolphins trade for any offensive linemen during the trade deadline or at that time? No. So why is it such a surprise, or why are people hating and saying, yo, the Dolphins should have traded somebody and gotten somebody during the trade deadline for the offensive line? They didn't do it last year. They didn't do it the year before, and they had worse lines. Just keep it real. It was terrible. So I can't go ahead and complain. I'm happy with what they got, and I think they have enough. And then you get Armstead come back, and Armstead is only going to go ahead and make that line even better. So that's just my opinion.
I do like 90MFC's comment. McDaniel's a run guru. I feel like he feels like he has the O-line he wants. Let's be real. This is some of the best O-line play we have seen in a while. Perfect, but a few games Tua was left clean. And that is true. There has been some really clean pockets for Tua to go ahead and have the time, even though he doesn't need the time because the guy is ripping the ball. He's throwing it within the next 2-point-something seconds, and impressive, by the way. And his anticipatory, trait is what really thrives him to move the ball. And I really do like what the pocket is doing. And I mean, like what the chat is saying, even though we didn't make any moves, I am very pleased with the O-line. All we just hope for is it to be healthy. That's all.
Yeah. Chad is saying the same line as last year, but they're playing better this year. So it is
Correct.
the coaching. Absolutely.
Yeah.
To kind of recap on the injury report here, we also got Raheem Mostert and Durham Smythe One of them is suffering from an ankle, the other one is suffering from the foot, like Hunt, and had limited work at practice today. So at least they were both kind of practicing out there. I think they're gonna play. I don't see them not playing. And then Brandon Jones did not make the trip to Germany, so we know for sure. And as you guys, I don't know if you were able to see, but the video that I had shown when I was there at the New England Patriots game, you saw how he got cheap shot by Juju Smith-Schuster.
Damn,
And then
damn you.
and then the last two, Devon Achang, Devon Achan. I don't even know how to say his name correctly. I don't want to say Achan because that's not the way he wants to be called.
I think it's Devon Achan.
Achan. And then Chris Brooks, both still on IR. They both made the trip to Germany, but are not yet practicing. So it could be interesting. Maybe I don't think either one of them is going to play. I think they're going to stick with Raheem Mostert and with this guy, Jeff Wilson Jr. And then obviously Savak.
Sir, take off your DMs, sir.
Sorry about that. I had to take that out. Let me take that out. I took it out. rookie.
A-chan or
A-chan.
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 Yeah, I think hopefully McDaniel realizes that Savon Ahmed is not our running back and just start putting Jeff Wilson Jr. as the number one, bro.
Yeah. And then the other thing we wanted to go ahead and kind of touch bases because we've been talking a lot about the Dolphins right now, but obviously we had the Buffalo Bills beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 18-24. We had the Jets beat the Giants, which they should have lost that damn game 13-10 in overtime. And then obviously we have the up and coming games coming up this week. So let's go ahead, Nick. Let's give it a prediction, man. So first and foremost, we got we'll do the whole division. So we got the Bills and the Bengals. Who do you think is gonna win, and what score do you have that?
So that game I've been paying a close attention to. Cincinnati played a very, 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 very well played game against San Francisco. Joe Burrow is looking like that calf is healing nicely. They're playing, I believe, in Cincinnati, correct?
I can check that out. I don't know yet. Maybe
I believe so. I think they are playing in Cincinnati, and right now those two teams, they have some history with one another. Obviously,
yes, they are playing in
obviously,
Cincinnati.
Obviously, you got the Bills picking up Leonard Fournette. Hopefully, he may play, and you also have the other player that the Bills had picked up. I forgot, he's a safety. Or cornerback, one of the two. He helps the secondary out because they're kind of banged up from that area, and hopefully he plays. But if not, I still believe Cincinnati with Joe Burrow is going to go ahead and kind of have a close game. I have it 21-17 Bengals.
Man, I didn't know that Buffalo picked up Leonard Fournette. That's crazy. They added him to the practice squad. You're right.
Yeah, they have. I believe they have James Cook, Latavius Murray, and now Leonard Fournette.
Damn, because why are they not using Latavius Murray? Because Latavius is good. I actually have him in my fantasy draft.
And we forget that I think what's his name, Damian Williams, Damian from the old Dolphin player, the one that he had that kind of freakish accident. And he's been out for a couple of weeks now. But he's also another running back that they had. So they have a pretty good squad as RBs. But yeah, what about you, sir? What do you have? Do you have Cincinnati or you have Madden cover Josh Allen?
So I got so I'm just looking at the Buffalo Bills depth chart here. So James Cook is their main guy. Then Latavius Murray is their number 2 guy, and then Ty Johnson is their number 3 guy.
And mind you, the Bills lost their tight end Knox for I think for a couple of weeks or probably for a long time. So they have Kincaid, but
no, they lost Knox for the whole season.
Oh wow, you see, so now they have Kincaid. So it's like, man, they're kind of
he's not bad.
They're kind of like a little bit hurt on all areas, defensively and offensively. But they still have Madden cover Josh Allen, so that's all they need.
I will tell you this. I don't see Buffalo winning. I honestly, it's in Cincinnati, so I definitely have Cincinnati winning this game. And I'm gonna say Cincinnati is gonna win comfortably, bro. I say Cincinnati beats them 28-14. That's my score when it comes to Buffalo. I
Guys
think they're.
has it at plus
I
14.
I mean, look at the playoff run, man. And I know it was snow over there in Buffalo, but if they were able to hang, and then you know what, man, they just finished handling the San Francisco 49ers a big L. So and the San Francisco 49er defense is way better than the Buffalo defense. Let's keep it real. So I don't see this game close. I honestly see this game being very, very sided on the Cincinnati side. The other game we have is the Jets versus the Chargers. Ooh, Jets versus Chargers, man. What do you think, man? Jets, Chargers, who do you got?
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I respect the Jets defense. I've been very impressed with the Jets defense this year. However, the offense, I can't really say too much about the offense,
They're
but
trash, bro.
I think right now,
And they are playing in the Jets, so they're playing at in New Jersey, bro.
so they're playing in MetLife. Um, that's tough. You know what? Even though dumpster fires, I think I feel like yeah, I like that. I think although Jets are playing really good defense and they just had a big win, I think the Chargers are kind of in a groove right now, and I think the Chargers are gonna pull off with a win. And I'm thinking big, man. I'm thinking big. I think Justin Herbert is gonna unleash that social media quarterback skills, baby.
All right, so for me, dude, I like the Jets a lot. I just think Justin Herbert is gonna have enough. He's gonna make mistakes. You know that. He's gonna throw picks, but I still think they're able to pull it off because I really don't trust that Jets offense, man. They suck, man. That Jets offense.
Unless Brees Hall runs for like 200 yards, then sure,
I
do
mean,
that.
I don't understand what they're doing over there with that quarterback. Zach, he's trash, man. He just I don't know, man. I mean, I I I have no idea why didn't they try to like get a quarterback during the trade deadline. I thought that would have helped them,
Sir,
but
discount double check is coming back, sir. What are you talking about?
nah, man, screw that guy, dude. That
He's
guy is
not even
still
on crutches or anything. My man is killing it right now for being 39. Yo,
dude. I mean, his
he
recovery.
looks, he looks. And I believe he has like like a small segment with Pat McAfee, and
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
always and they're always talking about it, and he looks locked and focused. So maybe he will come back. You never know. Or maybe this is just a stunt. Maybe it's just I don't know to just kind of give some fuel. But I don't know. I don't see him really coming back to the season. But look
I
at
hope
Jalen Ramsey, bro.
I hope he doesn't come back because I personally, and I'm a Miami Dolphin fan. I personally had the Jets winning the division with him as their quarterback. Without him being their quarterback, I think we win it. So, and I think it's better. I think we're better than Buffalo. I think Buffalo, especially with the injuries that Buffalo has had, I don't think Buffalo is the same team as prior years. Even though Josh Allen has had a really good season, his numbers, he's at the pace that he's going, his numbers are actually supposed to exceed all his prior years that he's been with Buffalo. So it's I it's for me when it comes to Buffalo, it's just I feel like some of their injuries, the linebacker that they lost was huge. I know Von Miller's back and he's playing, but I just don't feel like it's gonna take him a while before he actually gets a hang of it again.
Yeah,
He's been out.
Milano.
Plus, you really don't know what you're gonna get. Like after such a serious injury, you don't know if Von Miller's ever gonna be the same Von Miller. I mean, that's a freakish accident and injury, and I don't know, man. Like whenever you get injured, like I've suffered injuries, it's hard to come back from. I mean, I know they're NFL players, I know they're athletes and all that stuff, but still. As for myself, I think the Chargers do win, and I have the Chargers squeaking out a win. I think it's gonna be an ugly game. I think that the Chargers win 21-17. Um, on the another the other game, obviously we got to bring up. We're gonna talk about it a little, not talk about it, but
Ravens.
at least give the prediction because there are. I do want to give some respect to them. It is the Patriots, and they're going against the Washington Commanders. Who do you got in that game?
Sam Howell, baby. He's lighting up that defense. Screw Bill Belichick. He's not gonna break down Shula's record. L for that guy.
Any prediction score?
Man, I mean, Sam Howell went at it with Philly again. So I wouldn't be surprised if, especially that the secondary got destroyed by the Dolphins. So I wouldn't be surprised if somehow, if his offensive line covers him, I think he can. They can win comfortably, 30-14.
I'm gonna go the other way. I think the Patriots, our defense will bounce back. I don't think Bill Belichick will have back-to-back losses. I say the Patriots win, and it'll be an ugly win.
Mm,
I think they'll win 21-14. I think Washington does really good against Philadelphia, but I don't think they'll do really good against the um the Patriots. Finally, of course, our game Sunday, early morning in Germany. I'm gonna go ahead and do my prediction. I honestly feel the Miami Dolphins, um, if Xavier Howard plays and Connor Williams plays, I think the Dolphins win. If Connor Williams doesn't play, but Xavier Howard plays, I'm 50-50 on it. I'm gonna put all my eggs in one basket. I'm gonna say Connor and Xavier Williams both play, and I'm gonna say the Dolphins win 31-21. What about you?
I think honestly it's gonna be a close game. I think I think things are gonna be rowdy. Frankfurt is a neutral site, so it could be 50-50. However, hold on, give me one sec. Hold on.
I hear that. I hear that. So that's what you get when we got live on YouTube. You got my I can hear my dad in the background telling my brother, "Yo." Well, why he's attending to my dad. What
Yeah,
is that
nah,
one?
the old boy was like, "You do your podcast?" He's like, I'm like, "Oh yeah, bro." He's like, "Oh, my bad, my bad, my bad."
Gotta love that. Shout out to my father.
Shout out to the old man, of course. But nah, I think the game is gonna be, neutral site. I think both teams are gonna, show out their best. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes didn't have a good game. He had kind of a weak game, but however, his receivers weren't also playing really well. So Tay-Tay's not gonna be there, so that's a good thing. Obviously, overall, I have the Dolphins winning this game, not because I'm a Dolphins fan, but because I think we're gonna see more of different players aside. Obviously, we're gonna see Tyreek Hill do what he does best, but I think for some strange reason, I feel like Chase Claypool is gonna do something in this game, man. I feel like Chase and Waddle, they're gonna figure out because of all the attention Tyreek Hill is gonna get. I think Chase and Waddle and even probably even Smite. I think all those players are gonna go ahead and execute their routes and really show out what the Dolphins really are made of offensively. Defensively, I think it's gonna be a tough matchup. But seeing Jalen Ramsey play, I think we have a good shot, especially if X comes back and Javon Holland comes back, and you kind of have a pretty solid squad in your defensive line. So I have the Dolphins winning. I don't see this game going that deep. I have this game going like a weird score, like a 27-21 type of game.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, at least we both agree that we have the Dolphins winning. I hope they don't let us down. We will talk about it next week. We'll definitely see how the Dolphins kind of like do their thing against the Kansas City Chiefs again. We haven't had any luck with some of these powerhouse teams. I know Kansas City offense sucks, but they still got Patrick Mahomes, they still got Travis Kelsey, and their defense is nothing to play around with. So, and they're coming off a loss against Denver, so I know they don't want to lose back-to-back games. But now moving forward, let's talk a little bit about the Miami Heat, and then we're going to talk a little bit about soccer to end the night. So when it comes to the Miami Heat are actually playing right now, man. They're actually playing the Brooklyn Nets. The Miami Heat are 1-3, and the Brooklyn Nets are 1-2. And the game right now, I got it 69-57. Miami's up, so Miami's up by 8 in the third quarter. Talk to me, man. I know you went to the Miami Heat game opener. What you thought about the Miami Heat? What did you think about them? What are some of the things that you liked about them, and what are some of the things that you didn't like about the Miami Heat?
So I've been tuning into the Miami Heat, and I think right now they're in a work in progress. But for some strange reason, the Heat they know how to land these players, man. They have some young talent. They have that RJ Hampton kid, which hasn't played yet. He hasn't seen any floor action, but I think he will soon. They've been getting hit with injuries though, so you have like Caleb Martin out for a couple of days. You had Jimmy Butler not play against that Minnesota game. You had Bam Bam not playing the game. I think it was on Sunday or Monday actually. So you have like a team that's still trying to, rotate players and kind of have like a good sense of chemistry. But players like Thomas Bryant, JJ Jaime Jaquez, Orlando Robinson, they even have this kid. I don't know his first name, but it's Kane. So you have like these young talent that are just finding ways to, like, create shots and make points. And Tyler Hero's playing pretty decent. I mean, when I saw him play against the Detroit Pistons, he didn't play that well at all. However, he's picked up his groove and he's playing really well too. Jimmy Butler really doesn't like to go 100% in the beginning of the season. I don't know
Yep.
why,
Yep.
but I guess that's just for, playoff Jimmy. But overall, I'm not gonna worry about it. I think we spoke about it in our last episode, um, and if we haven't, but I truly believe the Miami Heat are like kind of in the middle of the pack. I honestly do feel like the Miami Heat are gonna make a trade before the deadline. I just don't know who yet,
Wow.
but I think the Miami Heat, they're as long as this team is still pretty good.
Well, right now you got Bam Adebayo. You have 16 points. Jimmy's playing. He has 13. Tyler Hero showing up with 20 points. Kyle Lowry with 6. Jaime Jaquez Jr. with 2 points. Josh Richardson has 1 point. Dougie Robinson has 3. Haywood Highsmith has 3. Thomas Bryant has 8 points off the bench. And the guy you were talking about, Jamal Kane, he unfortunately does not have any points right now. Neither is I don't think Caleb Martin is playing today because it says here it's 0. So he probably I don't know if he's active right now or he's still injured. Um, the remaining other guys, Nikola Jovic, 0 points. Who's another one? Kevin Love, 0 points. So look, man. To be honest with you, man, I feel the same way when it comes to the Miami Heat. I think the Miami Heat are a team that takes the playoffs more seriously than the season. So all I can hope for is that the Heat do enough to make it to the playoffs. I mean, at this point, even making it to how do you call it, that playoff, that what do you call that,
What, the end season tournament?
no, not
Oh,
that,
the play-in tournament. The
the
play-in.
playing tournament. There you go. Even if they make it into playing games, look how far they went. So as long as they can stay healthy, man, and as long as the Miami Heat, I keep saying Dolphins, as long as the Miami Heat are able to go ahead and get their shit together and just at least make it to the playoffs, I'll be happy with them. I don't know how or what they could trade away in order for them to be successful in the middle of the season. I mean, if they're relying heavily on Tyler, if they really wanted to trade Tyler, they would have gone ahead and done something better with they would have gone after this guy from the one who went to the Bucks, Dame
Or
Lillard.
Dame
Yeah.
time.
So if they really wanted him, they would have traded him. So now they kind of stuck with Tyler. I don't think they have any other option but to just go ahead and roll with the team that they got. Maybe they'll pick somebody off waivers or something, and they could do that. But I still think the Miami Heat. I don't think they're the upper level team anymore. I think they're like the middle pack, and
Yeah.
unless somebody stands out, and Mahi Carlos is saying they need to position themselves to have a good playoff position. I mean, they technically, yeah, they should, but at the same time, look how far they went, playing the playing. They were able to make it to the finals. So it wasn't like, hey, they desperately need to do it. Obviously, there's more wear and tear on their bodies when they're doing the play-in tournament and all that stuff. But I don't know, man. Let me ask you this, since this is the first year that they're doing this. If the Miami Heat do not make it to the playoffs, but they go deep in that tournament that's supposed to be done in the middle of the season, would you be satisfied with the Miami Heat?
No, man. I think um I think with the players that we have now, we can still push kind of far um into the season and even into the playoffs. Do I see them going far in that in-season tournament? To be real honest with you, I think so. But for them to just not do anything, not even reach at least the second round of the playoffs, man, it would be disappointing if they don't do something like that. They just came off the finals, bro. So it's kind of hard for us to just be satisfied for, breadcrumbs. Nah, bro. Look at the players right now with
You're calling that tournament breadcrumbs?
mm, I honestly, I don't want to say breadcrumbs in the sense of devaluing the tournament. I'm saying breadcrumbs with the expectation that we've already set in the past couple of years. It's either we finished in the Easter Conference Finals or we've been in the finals. I mean, I know that one year we got swept by the Bucks, but for us to not even make it to the playoffs and then go deep into the season, that's not satisfying.
Well, no doubt says tournament has no value. I will tell you this, man, and this is how I feel. Let's say, for example, the Miami Heat don't make it to the playoffs, but they are able to win that tournament. I'll be happy with the Heat. And the only reason I say that is because I honestly feel that the Heat do not have enough to go up against Milwaukee, against Boston. I think those teams got better this year, and I don't think that the Miami Heat got any better. So I mean, I prefer them winning something than nothing. So I'd rather them win that tournament and be able to claim, "Hey, we won that." Look at the Inter Miami. They were able to win that tournament. Were we satisfied with them? And I understand.
Whoa, whoa,
Okay.
sir,
I understand. I understand that Inter Miami
sir.
has not been going to finals and have not been qualifying the playoffs, but they won the tournament, and we could brag about it and say, "All right, wait, we won a tournament. Congrats to us." That's kind of the same way with the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat close doesn't matter in the NBA. Like you make it to the finals, that's great. You didn't win. Look at the Panthers. I think the Panthers they did really great last year, but they still haven't won. And so if I look at it, the only thing I'm gonna look at the Panthers and say, hey, 0 championships, man. 0 championships. I mean they're getting closer, but
I mean,
you're
if
not
it
first or
wasn't for
second. So
if it
I'm
wasn't
sorry.
for that,
If you're not first, you're last. Like
Ricky
Ricky
Bobby, baby,
Bobby.
I think if the Panthers would have never, because I know I don't want to try to divert myself here, but if the Panthers would have never had that strong playoff push, then that season kind of would have been kind of disappointing because the previous season they had won the President's Trophy. They had the best freaking NHL record, so it's kind of satisfying that they at least went to the finals. But if they would have never done that push, it kind of would have been a disappointing season. And then I agree with the chat too. There has to be some sort of value in this tournament. I know that for the couple of readings that I've read, there's money prizes and incentives, but they were actually thinking about doing some sort of lottery pick. But I think that's in the works. I feel like they should do something like that. Um, and they should even go even a step further and kind of give a better prize if you win both things, the tournament and the actual finals trophy. But that's just me though, you feel me? Because I get it, the money, yeah, and stuff like that, but like what I think throughout as time goes by, the tournament adds its own little values based off on the classic games and all that stuff and the moments. But in the meantime, it's not really much of any value, to be honest with you.
Oh well. Only time will tell. Once we get closer to that tournament, we'll see. Like I said, I think I'll be happy with them winning the tournament, and if they don't make it to the playoffs, okay, whatever. Because I really don't think they're gonna be able to compete. I think Milwaukee's better. I know Dame hasn't been playing that great, but I think Milwaukee has better. It's a better team, and yes, I agree. Porzingis is his health is always in question, but dude, like. I don't know. I think that Boston team is just better overall. I thought the Miami Heat were gonna do more, and they've lost more, so they're relying heavily now.
Well, have they though? Because if you look at Gabe Vincent, you look at Max Struess, and all those boys, they're
What
not
has
doing
what,
well.
what has Gabe Vincent done in the Lakers? Has he done anything?
His first game he was like 3 for 10. His second game he was like 3 for 7, and then his third game he was like another 3 for 9 or something like that.
Let me look at his stats. So all right, so check this out. So he played. So this is the last 4 games he played against the Nuggets. This is Gabe Vincent. He went 3 for 8. He had 6 points. He played October 26th against the Suns. That was at home, and he went 3 for 10. So he struggled. He had 7 points. He did have 6 assists, and he had 3 rebounds. So it was And October the 29th, he had the Kings. They were playing at the Kings. He went 1 for 3 with 2 points. And then the most recent game was against the Orlando Magic. He had 9 points and 2 assists. Uh, mm, I don't know if they're
compared to
playing.
the compared to what he was doing in the Heat. And that's the cool thing about the Heat, that the Heat culture is just so weird. Like they have this system in place that maximizes anybody who can know how to dribble and shoot, dog. Like it's just crazy. So look at, I'm telling you, that Thomas Bryant kid, poquito a poquito, that guy's getting better, man. That guy is getting better. And I think he's not that even that young. I mean, he's young, but he's like in his mid-20s right now. So I think it's a good thing.
Kimahi, I might bring you on next week and bring you as a guest. That way you can take a look. Now, I will say this, Nick. I'm looking at Max Struess's numbers and check this out, man, because this is actually interesting. So Max Strus, October 25th, he was against the Nets. He played 39 minutes. He scored 27 points. He had 12 rebounds. So he had a solid outing. Then he played against the Thunder, and he played 38 minutes. So he was playing a lot. He only had 8 points and he had 5 rebounds. But then on the 28th against the Pacers, he played 42 minutes, pretty much the most minutes he's played. He had 21 points and 11 rebounds and 6 assists. And in the last two games, the Knicks on the yesterday, 6 points and 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and then he's actually playing right now against the Knicks again, but this time they're playing at the Knicks, and he already has 7 points with
But
five
look at the
rebounds.
minutes he's putting in. Of course, he's gonna score 20 points if he's averaging 37 minutes a game, bro.
Yeah, but that also means
Look at the
that
minutes. Look at the production he was doing when we had him. And he wasn't averaging those minutes. He was doing what, like 16, 15 minutes? I forgot what was the average. And we were maxing him way more than what the Cleveland Cavaliers are doing right now, dude.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at these stats right now, right? And Um, so this is the stats with the Miami Heat. This is just last year. He played 80 games. He was averaging about 28.4 minutes. So
Oh, wow.
he,
So he's playing a lot more than I thought.
he's playing about 30 minutes. He was playing about 30 minutes. That could give or take. And he was averaging 11.5 points, and he was averaging 3.2 rebounds. So, and right now he is, I mean, if you take into account the 4 games that he played for Cleveland, he's averaging 38 minutes. So he's playing 10 more minutes than what he played with the Heat last year. But he is averaging he's averaging more points, 15.5 compared to 11.5. But it's still early. It's only 4 games. So,
Sure, yeah.
but he is doing something. So maybe he might not have been a production of just the Miami Heat. Maybe the kid does have talent on his own.
No, they all have talent. They all have
Well, no,
talent.
well,
I'm
no,
not
no, no. I'm not saying that. Let me rephrase that. They usually, when they leave the Miami Heat culture, they usually go to another team and they usually kind of go downhill. They kind of don't have
They
a
trend down a
successful,
little bit. They
exactly,
trend down a
compared.
little bit.
But it looks like, at least for the beginning, the first 4 games that he's had with Cleveland, he is actually doing pretty decent. Let me see what some of the chat is saying. It says, dude, he is nothing, absolutely nothing. Sure, he has experience, but no production. Get him out. They had the opportunity with Damon Lillard and Riley let that pass. I think he's talking about Tyler Hero. I think that's what he's talking about.
No, man. I think he's talking about our boy BBL Laurie, baby. BBL Laurie.
No, I think he's talking about Tyler Hero. I'm not a fan of Tyler Hero, guys. You already know me. Tyler Hero for
Kimai,
me.
who you talking about? Are you talking about Kyle Lowry or are you talking about Tyler?
We
Let us
know
know.
that Kyle Lowry sucks. Nobody's gonna pick his ass up. But by Tyler Hero, at least he had some trade value, in my opinion. And yeah, no doubt said it. It's true.
I see, Kyle. I told you.
Oh, he's talking about Kyle Lowry. Oh wow, and Tyler.
Oh, hey, he said get them both out. He said get them both out. Damn.
Get them both out of here.
You get the axe. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here.
They both suck. They're both trash.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, Tyler is productive sometimes during the season, and he has his clutch moments. But man, his injuries has been what has really has hold them back, and it just sucks, bro. It just sucks.
Well, guys, we'll talk about the Heat again next week. We'll see how this game ends. If the game ends during the podcast, we'll go ahead and update you on the score. I will tell this. Let me see. Let me go back on the actual score and see how the Heat are doing. The Heat are currently up 83-75, and the third quarter just ended. So the Heat are up by what, 5, 6, 7, by 8 points. So against the Brooklyn Nets. We'll see how it ends. All right. Last but not least, guys, we're gonna talk what we also enjoyed always talking about, and that is soccer. And we're talking some big games that happened this past weekend, and some games that happened today actually too. Um, dude, El Clasico was this past weekend. You guys know that we're big soccer fans. We enjoy watching soccer. I am not a Barcelona or a Real Madrid fan. I am a fan of El Clasico. So I will always tune in to El Clasico because it's just tradition, and it's tradition for me to watch it. So my brother, on the other hand, he is a big Real Madrid fan.
Hala Madrid.
Sir, I'm gonna let you have the floor here because you know more than I do about this El Clasico. I'll give you a little bit about my opinion when it comes to this game, but what did you think about this 2-1 win by Real Madrid over Barcelona this past weekend?
So I don't know if you've noticed, but I think I'm a little laggy. But I hope you guys will follow. Yeah, man. 10 a.m. game Saturday. Clásico. Everyone was watching. You had injuries from both sides of the clubs. You had Barcelona with certain key injuries like Kundi, Pedri, Frankie De Jong. Lewandowski came off the bench, so he was still a little banged up. Rafinha, he came off the bench. He was a little banged up. But then you have these, young stars that are playing really well, such as Gavi and company. But at the end of the day, the better team won. And Madrid played a little bit slow in the beginning, but that's what Madrid does, man. Madrid really likes to, kind of figure out how the game is going on, the flow of the game, and then eventually after halftime, Ancelotti, the coach of Real Madrid, kind of gives his, adjustments, and they were very, very, very strong adjustments. I mean, let's just talk about the first half. The first half, Barcelona had solely almost control of the football. There was one play in minute 10 that Gundogan was playing tiki-taki with, I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Torres. I think he was doing the tiki taki, and Chomeni, the center defensive mid of Real Madrid, tried to cut off that passing lane, and unfortunately the ball got reflected, and Gurugan capitalized that moment, and it was a calm, clean, and cool finish. However, after that, Barcelona had a couple of more opportunities. Our boy Kepa, or the goalkeeper for Real Madrid, played really well. I truly believe he had some key saves in the first half. And overall, it looked like Barcelona was, dominating the first half. But then, man, the second half came by, and it was just another different, tempo. I believe Xavi kind of had a game plan to kind of slow down the game even more, but Ancelotti kind of exploited, having to change certain players such as Tony Cruz and Rodrigo, and most importantly, Mendy, the left back. Mendy did not play really well in my eyes. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Cancelo, or actually, yeah, it was Cancelo going against him, and Cancelo was dominating Mendy. So I believe, Ancelotti went ahead and made certain adjustments that were really key in switching Tony Cruz for Modric, and then having to change Mendy for Camavinga. And from there, man, from minute 51 and above, Madrid just changed up the pace and really capitalized on every goal. And then I gotta, obviously, Vinicius didn't play too well. He's kind of like right now in this weird funk going on with him, and, the outside noise. And Rodrigo has been kind of like in a goal slump. But I gotta save the best for last, man. And Jude Bellingham, bro, that guy, that $100 million signing, what a signing by Real Madrid. If you ask me, Fresco, this guy was gonna be this productive, this clutch. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would have said yes, but not in the sense of how clutch he is right now. What he's doing fresco is something that not many people do in a Real Madrid, uniform, and the likes of Zinedine Zidane, who was number 5 before, and Cristiano Ronaldo and company. So Jude Bellingham with the rocket soccer freaking goal in minute number, I believe it was 64. It was right outside the box. I want to say 22 yards away, right side corner. My dad likes to call it, on a kind of like 90, so which is like the upper part right of the goal. And man, and it was a rocket. And believe it or not, Ter Sagan had really noticed it, but the ball got hit so hard that the ball just went through his hand. And what a hell of a goal. And I'm not gonna lie to you, when I saw that goal, bro, I went wild. When my girlfriend was next to me and she kind of freaked out. She was like, "What the hell's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "Whoa, bro!" Because having to see that moment, it kind of made me realize, damn, we have someone pretty special here. And then at the end, obviously sometimes you need a little bit of, fortune. And obviously Carvajal had a really good connection with Modric, and Modric went ahead and kind of did some weird reflection that unfortunately, but hey, Jude Bellingham again, Jude, and I don't like calling him Jude Bellingham. I like calling him Jude Bellingham because he's him, sir. And he tapped it in, and dude, what a win! What a win in Barcelona. Crucial points, kind of sets the ground now on how the leaderboard is. Even though Girona's in second, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Atletico Madrid is third, and now Barcelona's fourth. I know it's still early, but man, what a great win! If I had to give my MVPs, obviously is Jude Bellingham, Modric, Camavinga, and Kepa.
Wow, this guy went all in when it came to this game. I gotta say one thing. I saw the game. I honestly thought Barcelona dominated the first half. Um, I am. I thought at the end of the day, Real Madrid did the necessary adjustments to take the victory in the second half. Um, I am impressed with Jude Bellingham. I think Jude Bellingham is a very, very talented individual. I wanted to bring up his career stats, but I'm having a hard time trying to bring it up. But I wanted to go ahead and mention this, that Jude Bellingham has not flourished as much in his previous teams as much as he's doing in Real Madrid. And I think for me, I was watching the game, and I told this to my brother. I was watching the game in English, and one of the commentators brought it up, and he says that one of the reasons why Jude Bellingham is so successful, and this is what he said. It says he has the license to run forward because he has Modric and Tchouaméni. And I will say this, man, the quality of players that he had before in the previous teams that he was playing for are not the same as what he had in or what he has in Real Madrid. But you have to give credit to Jude Bellingham for his skills, but also for what the coach of Real Madrid is doing out there, man. He's giving him every opportunity to score, and the guy looks unstoppable. The guy looks good. 13 goals in 13 games, bro. Like, that is high end. And this guy was not, I'm telling you, this guy was not like a badass that he was scoring this amount of goals in his previous teams, man.
No,
So
I mean, if from the top of my head, I was looking into his stats. I believe last year's calendar year, I think he had a total of 20 or 18 goals and like 5 assists. But this is like all competition, like the whole year. This guy
yeah,
has only played with Real Madrid for like 2 months, and he's about to smash that. So it's just remarkable what this man is doing. And a lot of people are now looking at England and saying, "Yo, is this like the Wonder Boy?" You feel me? So it's gonna be interesting.
I thought he's been a remarkable story when it comes to Real Madrid, because everybody was questioning who's going to replace Benzema after Benzema left, and now this kid is basically just showing off. And I'm looking at his numbers, at some of his numbers. Like, I know he played for Borussia Dortmund back on in 2022, 2023, and I could see here that he played 31 matches. He had 8 goals and 4 assists, and that was just in the Bundesliga. And then when he played in the other tournaments, like I guess they have like other different cups that they play. I
Yeah, they have the Poke or whatever
Yeah.
tournament.
So that other tournament,
Other domestic tournament they have.
they were in that tournament last year, and they had 4 matches. He scored 2 goals and 1 assist, so that wasn't bad. But then in Champions, he didn't. He scored 4 goals in 7 matches, so that's not bad. In Europa League, 2 matches, he scored 2 goals, and then in some a Super Cup that they had 1 match. Oh well, that wasn't actually, they weren't in it last year. They were in it the year before. So he's not. So when you tally them up, so he had 8 goals, 2 goals, four, so 8, 2, 10, 14. Dude, the guy had 16 goals in total all of last year within 34,
In a whole calendar year,
41,
dude. In the
40,
whole
like
year.
in 43 games. And this guy already has 13 goals in 13 games. So
Dude,
uh,
remarkable, man.
I gotta
Remarkable.
give props to not only him, but give props to Real Madrid for what they're doing, and the way they're utilizing him, man. They're utilizing him the right way. So shout out to them. Barcelona is still gonna be Barcelona. They're still gonna be a strong team. It's just
Definitely.
I've always said that Barcelona is a powerhouse. You know me, I'm not a big fan of Barcelona, but just because I'm not a fan doesn't mean I can't respect them. I respect that team, but again, I'm gonna admit it. I was happy to see Real Madrid win. So the other team that the other big game that happened over the weekend was Man City versus Manchester United. And Man City gave them an ass whooping, dude. They
The
beat them
Manchester
three
Derby.
zero. And I saw that game. Now, that game, I was really into it. Hands down, man. Manchester United, I'm not a fan of Man U, but man, did they struggle, man. Harry Maguire and their other defender, Johnny Evans, those guys are
Landelof, the law,
they're not the
Christian
greatest, man.
Eriksen,
They're not good. But I will
Tony.
say this, and I talked to my brother. I told him, look, man, Onana, the goalkeeper that Man City has, bro, beast, man. That guy, amazing. I can't complain about that guy. That guy deserves A+ in all the games that he plays. That guy, he puts amor, he puts love into that game, bro. And that guy was blocking. That game ended 3-0. That game should have been like 15-0. That guy was blocking a shitload of goals. And if it wasn't for him, it would have even gotten more uglier over the weekend. And hands down, I like technically, you know, I like seeing Man U struggle because obviously I want these teams to go down that way. My team Chelsea will actually move up in the rank in the standings, but dude, I feel bad a little bit for Man United, bro. They I don't know, man. They just don't seem like they're in the right place right now, and it looks scary for them. And
Yeah.
if it keeps trending this way, I actually think they might fire their coach, bro.
I mean, I don't want to say that they'll let him go. I wouldn't be surprised if they flirt on that topic. I wouldn't be surprised if they flirt on that hot chair seat type of topic. But I think right now there's a lot of question marks. I mean, there really isn't a solid number 9 right now. We thought Marcus Rashford was going to be that guy, but he's
So
right now
inconsistent, bro.
he's kind of going through some slumps. Apparently Anthony Martial, but Anthony Martial is not the same anymore. You have Bruno that right now he's kind of getting questioned about his kind of his leadership skills. Jordan Sancho, that guy is not doing that much. Um,
What a bust that guy was, bro.
Jordan Sancho was a pretty tough man, and then Casemiro, he's kind of now. I mean, I've been hearing birdies here and there saying that he kind of not I don't want to say regrets, but it's kind of going through a hard slump right now. I mean, when you leave from the greatest club in the world to go to Manchester United, which is another great club, I'm not gonna say no because I'm a Manchester United fan, but I think right now Man U is going through what Man U has been going through for a couple of years now.
Well, just to show, before we talk about a little bit about our about aka the GOAT winning the Ballon d'Oro, I do want to share the standings for both La Liga and also the standings for EPL. So right now, the standings for EPL, we got on the top. I know it's just 10 games played, but damn, you got Tottenham number 1 what a surprise team this year with Tottenham being up there. I mean, Tottenham is usually in the top 5, top 6, but man, for them to be number
Especially
one,
with Harry Kane leaving, I thought they were gonna be
yeah, dude.
bottom 10, like that 8th or ninth spot. But apparently that's where Man U is right now. So
Yeah, and then Arsenal, I mean, they're living up to expectation. They're actually having a good season, just like last year. And then Man City's in third, which is a little bit of a surprise, but you could also understand why they're a little bit, rusty. They won everything last year, so they kind of feel like all their stuff is fulfilled. They don't have to give it as much. Eventually, they'll get in the groove, but to see them already have 2 losses compared to what they were doing last year, I'm not. I'm a little bit surprised that they're not on top of the EPL league. And then to cap off the top 5, Liverpool comes in 4th, and then Aston Villa in number 5, along with Newcastle trying to make a
that's
run.
kind of a surprising team for me. Ashton Villa. I think Ashton Villa they finished strong last season and they're continuing on with the same.
Yeah,
This,
that's another team that is kind of like, you don't see them up there. And personally, they typically, we're I'm a little bit surprised how low Chelsea is, because Chelsea's been down, but I mean, our team is so up and down. I don't even want to bother talking about them because I'm only gonna get frustrated. But yeah, overall, man, it's concerning. For Chelsea, I know Man U is up there. I think Man U is like number 8 or number 9. So we got some surprise teams up there on the leaderboard. And then obviously in La Liga, to share that, La Liga standings, we got Real Madrid number 1, and then bro, Girona number 2. Wow,
yep,
wow.
Girona, man. And mind you, Girona, the only team they lost against was against Real Madrid, and it was in Girona. So, and
Well,
I
they're
believe,
tied with Real Madrid. They have
I
28
believe,
points each.
I believe Girona right now will face Barcelona. I think in 2 weeks. I know
Wow.
Barcelona has a tough schedule now. I believe Barcelona now goes against, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's Athletic Club. I think.
Wow. So to top off the top 6, we got Real Madrid and Girona tied at 28. Atletico Madrid is coming in third with 25 points. Barcelona with 24. Real Sociedad with 19. And Athletic Club with 18. And then Real Betis and Rayo fighting, trying to get into that top 6. Not bad. I'm surprised about Girona. I never thought that team would be up there competing against it. I mean, they've won 9 games. They've drawn 1, and they've only lost 1. And the goal differential is not even that much. I mean, the only reason Real Madrid is above them is because of goal differential. So, very impressive by Girona. Very
Yes, sir.
impressed. All right, guys. The last thing we want to talk about before we end the podcast, of course, is the biggest announcement to ever hit an Inter Miami player, and that is your boy, my boy, Memo's boy, who else's boy, Flam's boy, all of our friends' boy, the GOAT, Lionel Messi winning the Ballon d'Oro. Talk to me, Nick. What do you think, man? Did the guy deserve that Ballon d'Oro, or do you think maybe somebody in Man City should have won it?
I mean, remember the Ballon d'Or is measured by the calendar year, and from the top of my head, I believe he has scored like about 43 goals and like about 27 assists in all competition. He won the domestic cup for France, and he also won the league for France. On top of that, he won the World Cup. Was the MVP practically in the World Cup. Um, I mean, you you got you gotta give the trophy to the person who has put in a lot of effort, and I believe Messi put his whole body and strength into that World Cup run, and he deserved it, man. I believe Messi played really well last year. He did something for his country that hasn't been done in over 30 years. Although, right behind them was Erling Haaland with about 50 something goals and like about 10 assists for the record breaking striker from um where's he from? Is he from Austria? No, not Austria. From Norway.
I could look it up. I think
From
he's from Norway.
Norway.
Yes, I think he's from Norway.
So
Yes,
one
Norway.
to just finish it off, I think one of my favorite quotes Messi said was, If Erling Haaland was Argentine, I would want him to win the Ballon d'Oro too.
Look at that. I will say this, man.
Gotta give it to him. He's a humble ass guy, bro. I like that.
I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna give you this. And you know, when it comes to me and Messi don't get along. The reason I don't get along with Messi is because I am a Cristiano Ronaldo fan, and I'm gonna be honest with you. But that doesn't mean I don't respect Messi. It's kind of like back in the day. I hated Michael Jordan. I thought Michael Jordan was a piece of crap, but the guy was the best in the world, and he is, man. He was back in the day, and he still is. Lionel Messi's the best right now, man. Like he's achieved everything. The guy won every award possible out there, and then he wins the Copa America, and then he wins the World Cup, and he's even won for Inter Miami. And he's granted, I like Messi. I like Inter Miami Messi. That's who I like. But I respect them. I respect him, and I think honestly, when you win the World Cup, it's hard to dispute. It's hard to go ahead and say, "Yo, the guy doesn't deserve it." And yeah, he did, man. I think Erling Haaland came in a close second, and I think you know if Messi would not have won the World Cup, I think Erling Haaland would have definitely won it.
I
But
agree.
at the end of the day, he achieved something with Argentina, and it took him all the way. And it's not easy to win a World Cup. That's why so many countries have not been able to achieve it. And for that, no matter what the circumstances are, no matter what bad apples fell off the tree, like at the end of the day, they went out there, they played on the field, and they won. And he was part of that team, and he delivered. And without him, I can tell you right now, I don't know if Argentina would ever have made it to a final and even won it. So for me,
Shout out to Di Maria though.
I like the fact that he got it. He deserved it. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna lie. I honestly thought he was never gonna win it again. After he left Barcelona, I was wrong with that, and I'll admit to it 100% because I had said that before in our private chats that he wasn't gonna win a Ballon d'Or after he left Barcelona. But honestly, winning the World Cup, you got to give him the notch. You win the World Cup. How can you not? I mean, they gave the Ballon d'Or when Mampe in France won it. They gave it to Mampe that year. So,
I don't think they did.
yes, they did. The year that he won the World Cup, he he
No,
actually won.
I believe I think they gave it to Modric.
No, because I googled it and looked it up, and the year that France won it, I believe Mampe won the.
Nah,
He didn't.
nope.
Let me see.
It was
Ballon,
2018.
hold on, so Ballon d'Or winner. You looked it up?
Nah, man. I know it.
Oh, calling me out on it. Yeah, you're absolutely right. He did win it. It was Luka Modric. He did win it.
Yep.
So, well, damn. So then they really, wow. So they really did give Messi because they felt that he did really well in PSG as well.
I mean, if you look at his calendar year, he scored over 40 goals and he had like assisted over 20 times. He won multiple trophies and then he won the only trophy that he hasn't won yet, and it was the World Cup. And mind you, Ballon d'Or is a little bit of a popularity contest too. So,
Yeah, it is. Damn, dude. Damn. I thought Mampe had
and
won
then
the
if you
Ballon
and if you
d'Or
look
the
and
same
if you
year that they
look
won
at
the
it
World Cup.
and if you look at it, I think it was 2019 or 2021 that it was supposed to be Lewandowski who was supposed to win it, and then they gave it to Messi instead.
Yeah, I mean, there's always gonna be those like middle of the pack ones where you're gonna be like, hey, this guy should have won it or that.
Not discrediting Messi, but just saying.
Damn, dude, I am surprised that Mampe did not win it the year that France won it. Wow, wow. And then what are
No, I mean they were stacked. They were stacked that year.
but Irving? What are Haaland's numbers this year? I mean, last
Um,
year.
last year, I mean he broke the record. He had like over 50 goals. He didn't have that many assists. He only had like 9 assists, but he had like over 50 goals. And then he did something that Manchester City has never done, and is achieve a triple. I'm not saying that he was the reason, but he contributed a lot.
So
50 goals,
he had
shit.
he had 36 goals in Premier League. All right, so let me add these up. So let me get my calculator here because I'm interested. 36. He had 12 goals in Champions League. He had 1 goal in EFL Cup. So he had 50, he had 49 goals. And then what did Messi have last year? And the assists, like you said, he barely had any assists. Yeah, like
Yeah, he had like 8 or 9
he didn't have that many. So let
in
me see.
our comp.
Let me see Messi stats and see how he did last year. So last year Messi had 16 goals. So Messi had 16 in League One. He had 4 in Champions. He had 1 in some other tournament. I don't know what that is. Trophy the Champions. I guess that's I don't know what that tournament is. And so in PSG he had 21 goals. And then in Argentina, he had 3 goals in Argentina. So that's 24. He didn't have like a ton of goals. I mean, he had 7 goals in the World Cup. So he
I
had
think 5
30.
of them were penalties. No, okay.
But he only had 31 goals compared to 49 from this other guy. I mean, the assist is the thing that helps him a lot because he had 3, and then in PSG he had 16.
I mean, there's many more factors. I mean, it's just
He had
it's a lot of
16
factors, bro.
plus 3. So he had 19 assists. Wow. I'm surprised, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm surprised that. Well, at the end of the day, he's messy, bro. He's messy. They're not gonna just go ahead and diss the guy. Like he's messy. You gotta give him the love. I mean, and at the end of the day, the guy's a humble guy. So I might not be his biggest fan, but he is a humble guy, and for him to say that about Haaland, I mean, that's very admirable on his end. So
Now, the guy who is not seen as humble, as of right now, has 45 games, 45 goals, and 12 assists on the other side of the hemisphere. At the age of 38,
sir, we can't bring that guy up. He wasn't even nominated?
he was actually they. I don't know if it was a joke, but he supposedly was ranked like 800 and something. I don't know if that's a joke or whatever, but if it is, then that's funny. But if it isn't, then that's even funnier because the guy has scored over 40 goals in all competition at 38 years old.
Yeah, but then you gotta look and say what league is he at right now, man. He's not in the
Okay,
best league in the world either.
fair enough.
He's not in the best league right now. But okay, I'll give you this. I'll ask you this: Is the Saudi Arabia league better than Inter Miami? I mean, the MLS league right now.
Um, I think the style of football is a lot more aggressive in Saudi than it really is in MLS. I think it's more tactical here. I think it's more of that EPL look. They give a lot of space. They like to give out those flashy moves and kind of allow teams to, kind of have those crazy counterattacks. So it kind of varies. I honestly feel like MLS is a better league than Saudi Arabia, hands down. Um, but you can't knock that the guy is still scoring goals. You feel me? Like, who have you seen at 38 years old score
Oh
40
yeah,
plus goals in one
hands down.
year?
And I'll tell you this. I'll give you this. I Before the moves that Saudi Arabia has done, I would have definitely said 100 times that MLS is better. If they keep adding the talented players that they're adding over there in Saudi Arabia, I think they're neck and neck, man. To be honest with you, I don't think there's a
Nah.
big difference between the MLS and Saudi.
Well, maybe.
I don't think there's a big
I
difference.
just want to know. And I'm not gonna be a hater or whatever, but I just want to know what. I hope Messi scores 45 goals too when he's 38.
That's a good point too. That's a guy who's 38. Cristiano Ronaldo scoring a lot for a 38-year-old than Messi.
So
Is
I'm
that?
expecting Messi to score 30 goals this year in the MLS.
Mm, we'll see, sir. We'll definitely see how it goes. But with that being said, guys, we're gonna go ahead and end the show. I want to give a big shout out to everybody who joined us on the chat. King
Thank
Mahi
you guys.
Carlos, no doubt, was out there. 9MFC, aka Chad. He was out there. Raimundo on Twitch. I saw you posted on Twitch as well. Thank you so much for joining us on Twitch. Um, and then anybody else I see out here who we might have
Flum.
missed. Oh, Frank Martinez, Flom. Hopefully, Flom could join us next week on the podcast. And anybody else? Do I see anybody else? Did I miss anybody, Nick? I think I got everybody. Kima Cardos. I think we got everybody. But look, I definitely want to thank all you guys for tuning in. It was definitely fun. Nick, any parting words? Anything you want to say before we head on out?
We just want to appreciate again. I mean, we're just, two brothers out here just trying to conversate and, what we do and what we like to see and what we like to watch all the time. And it's sports, baby, and wrestling. And we just want to give thanks to everyone who's tuning in. And don't forget to hit that like button. And if you ever want to be, come to the show and kind of give some words, you know, we're pretty open to it, right, Fresco?
Yeah, man. Whenever you guys want to be as a guest on the show, let us know. You don't have to be for the whole show either. If you just want to be for a particular segment, if you want to be during the wrestling, you can be in the wrestling. If you want to be during the Dolphins talk, if you want to be in the Heat talk, you want to be in the soccer talk. Like, dude, we're here. Like my brother said, it was just two guys, two brothers like to talk about sports. We like to talk about wrestling. We like to talk about different topics. And we're, as you can tell, we're big Dolphin fans and Heat fans and soccer fans and wrestling fans, man. So I'm once again very, very, very grateful for everybody who tuned in. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like. Make sure that you guys share as much as you can. We want to grow this. We want to try to get more and more of you guys involved. I, I'm the type of person who is always open for new suggestions, new ideas. I'm always really. Oh, I shout out to Lanika. I see that she actually tuned in, sending a heart there. Thank you so much for tuning in as well. So I'm grateful for everybody who has come and joined us. Don't forget to watch our show every Wednesday, 8 o'clock on YouTube. We're going to be streaming it on YouTube, on Twitter, and on Twitch. And then don't forget also my Tuesday show. I'm going to be trying to stream that as well on my. So I'm going to be sharing it with Sean. So you guys also know me from the Squared Circle Digest. We're going to be showing that show as well on my platform, on my channel as well. So on Tuesday nights, we also do the Squared Circle Digest, 8 o'clock. But yeah, don't forget to also follow me on all social media, Fresco Music, FREZKO, on Twitter or X, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I hope you guys are enjoying my little like little memes, the little gifts that I'm throwing out there. Like
Those are hilarious, man.
I've been doing them for all the shows, for Sean, for the Squared Circle Digest, and now for our podcast as well. And we did start with a new song, so I hope you guys enjoyed the song. That's gonna be our new theme song for our podcast. I gotta make up the video, so I'm working on that to have that on check. And then obviously, like I said, hopefully, we were supposed to have a third person join the group. I hope he does come and join us, but if not, then it's okay. Me and my brother will hold it down, and then obviously you guys can be more than welcome to just hit me up and let me know if you guys want to be part of the trio for any particular segment or for any particular show. We're always open-minded, and we always would welcome anybody. So Nick, any last word, any last quote before we say goodbye to the fans in the chat?
Yeah, I want to just let you guys know I like my quotes, and this one is from dearly old President John F. Kennedy. He says every accomplishment starts with a decision to try. So keep that in mind.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much once again. We'll see you guys next Wednesday, 8 o'clock. Let me talk to your podcast. Thank you once again, and we're out. Talk to you later, guys. Peace.